Yeah, absolutely on that. What about now that we're in the off season for NASCAR right now? Do you keep the same regimen for Jimmy throughout the off
Oh,
season, or
absolutely not. It's our time that we look we look forward to it. It's where we can do calculated risk. A lot of exercise that I wouldn't want to test run, certain squats, certain exercises that might put too much strain on his hip and hamstring or his flexibility. We get to test run all the exercises that we wanted to and dared to, but we had to pull back just because we didn't want any muscle cramping or pulling. So we get to do a lot of more exercises and then use that off-season assessments, and we can actually fine-tune it and see the protocol where we want to go next. So the off-season is a great season to push even harder, and it's not really about a season about relaxing. It's seeing where can we push more and where can we pre-calculate the new exercises so that way come the season again, we can implement those exercises and what worked and what didn't. So it's pretty much our lab again, and we get to see an experiment, so to speak.
Have you noticed a difference in his regiments since he now has a daughter that takes up a good bit of his time, or has he stuck with the work at hand?
And Jimmy's amazing. That's what I have to say. He still gets in all of the exercise. He still checks it off. He gets everything in. And then the cutest thing is that he's running with his daughter in the stroller, something he picked up from one of his friends that also runs with his daughter in the carriage, and he's having a great time doing that. So he gets everything in, and he figures out how to, and then at the same time he bonds with his daughter, and it's such a nice thing to see.
It is. It really is. And it's inspiring, too, especially for a lot of folks, especially this time of year or the holiday season. And a lot of people, it's cold outside. Nobody really has the motivation. They're eating an awful lot. Now's the time to do it. And having you on the show like this is inspiring to a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely a model. He's one of my best students. I call everyone my student by nature here, and he's just a model student across the board. He doesn't do what's easy. He's not afraid of hard work, and he's consistent all year round. If he decides to play hard, as he's, so to speak, he's going out and he won a race and he's drinking with his buddies, he'll go in the next day and make sure that he works really hard and gets it done. Off season, he just looks at it as a time to have an edge on everyone else when they're relaxing to get even more so.
I was reading also that Jimmy says that he has a fat gene that he has to watch. He could put on weight if he didn't really work out and keep himself in top-notch shape.
I agree with him there. There are people that eat more than what he eats and is able to stay lean all year round, and you can always see their abdominals, what other people call a six-pack. And, if he eats a little bit more, he gains quickly and he gains, so he has to work that much harder to maintain his weight or to stay lean. Everyone's going to be born with a certain amount what's called fat cells, which is lipid solubility, and that really is going to predetermine how much weight you can gain and how lean you can get. So Jimmy really always keeps it in check, and then he had to work much harder to get the little gains that he's gotten, and little gains over time added up, and that's why he looks great today. But it wasn't easy by nature for him. He had to work harder at it, and so my hat goes out even further for him. So some have it, they don't have to. They can eat half of what he eats, or double what he eats, and they stay pretty lean. And Jimmy has to stay on top of it all the time.
Unbelievable stuff. John, thanks so much for taking time out and joining us here on Sirius NASCAR Radio.
My pleasure.
Very enlightening, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays. Thanks for having me.
John Sitaras joining us via the Verizon Wireless Hotline, buddy, and really kind of puts into perspective what kind of athlete he really is.
I feel like a slob all of a sudden.
I feel like I need to go out and run a couple
7
miles.
I would have to have an ambulance running behind me if I ran 7 miles. I do a couple of miles, and I feel like I've done a heck of a run out. But the one thing that everybody has to realize, Jimmie Johnson takes his job so seriously. How many other people do you know in sports that their trainer comes on and talks about how he works so very hard? And, it does not come natural to him. He's made himself into a superstar by doing the right things with his body and giving up things that a lot of other race car drivers, they don't do that. And they wonder why he beats them on a regular basis, because he's in better shape. And I think Vince Lombardi said one time, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And I understand that, because I've watched and been a target of that before, where I absolutely felt like I was going to fall out of the door if I'd made one more left turn. And to be in the perfect shape and a well-tuned athlete, it's no secret why he's doing what he's doing in our sport.
It is amazing. It really is. We'll step away, grab a quick break, come back, and get back to the phones at 866-PIT-LANE, 866-748-5263. What about you? What are your thoughts on this whole driver being an athlete and just how much of an athlete they really are? Phone lines are open.